Hello and welcome! This character profile video is for the class Sura, and what you'll see is all of his skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, his skill combos, enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. So, without further ado, I give you the class Sura. Here we go. And welcome to the skills slide. If this is your first time on my character profile videos, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left is all of his skills, on the far right is all the specials that go with his skills, and then the column charges is how many times he can use the skill, and the hits column is how many times the skill will hit a creature or another player's character. And then the column damage-PVE is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against a creature in the world. And damage-PVP is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against another player's character. And of course you have the passive at the bottom. So a few things to mention here, and that is the red text over in specials section. Is like super armor is at the bottom left corner. It's not applied in arena. Everywhere else in the game it'll work, but when you step into arena it just won't work for you there. So if you want to know where you can use your super armor in arena, the PvP slide that I'll get to will answer that question. So another thing is on the left hand side where the column for skill, the 3 skills in green, they connect to your passive. So that's what that's all about, and that is about it. So take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the top 8 PvE skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome. What I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVE, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And Shadow Break continues, or is, your highest damaging skill. Well, it'll continue into the PvP slide. But I also wanted to address that the section in green is the 8 skills that I'm recommending you bring in and enjoy for PvE. You don't have to pick them, but they're the ones recommended. Meaning, when you get comfortable, you should also add in Sura's Wrath, which is your heal and helps allow you to fight longer when you're out there. So take a moment to look at everything here. When you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide, which is the PvP slide. Here we go. And welcome. So what I've done is I've taken all the skills under the column of damage-PVP and organized them from the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And Shadow Break is still your highest damaging skill. So I also want to address that when you are in arena, what skills can you use that you don't have to worry about? Does it work in arena? Does it not work in arena? And those skills are Shadow Break, Blinding Slash, looking at the list, it is Shadow Cloak, and Shadow Strike. So those 4, which is really good, I might add, are options for you to get in your super armor. And if you don't know what that is, hang in there, it will be explained on the player card screen. So what we're going to do is now cover what the passive is and all the details about it. It has changed big time. So first things first, when you look at the description next to passive, it says Shadow Cloak. So what it says is you recover 20 MP when using skills, next skills damage plus 50% when in stealth using the skill Shadow Cloak. So you use it, and then you're in stealth for 5 seconds, and then you hit the enemy again and you get plus 50% more damage. So that is something that's separate from the rest. And now the other 3, 6 Shadow. It activates 6 Shadow on every 6th skill use. So use your skill, a skill, or any, 6 times, and on the 6th time, it should increase your damage. It says 600% times 6 PVE damage on hit, and 600 times 6 fixed PVP damage on hit. So I have a video to show you how these three, or attempt to explain these three, so I'll go ahead and finish reading the rest and we'll go and get to that video. So hang in there. Slash PvP damage taken minus 15% for 15 seconds. You spend 80 MP, that's the bar below your health bar, to activate slash when using these skills. You use the skill Shadow Break, Twin Dragon, Blade Storm, and the Shadow Fang Enhancement to activate slash, and I will go into detail in that video about each one of these. And the last one is Unhealing Wound, to target on first hit of the skill for 40-second cooldown, 400 damage every second for 10 seconds, hit point recovery minus 60%. It's not applied in arena and not applied against monsters, so I may not show that in the video. You'll just have to check it out. So without further ado, let's cut to that video. Here we go. So what we're gonna do is show you the passive skills for slash, the section for slash, and those skills are Shadow Break, Twin Dragon, Blade Storm, and the Shadow Fang Enhancement. Right here on buffs, you can see what we have for buffs, so I don't want you to be, surprised. And we're gonna start here with Shadow Break, and if you use it once, you'll notice there's no buff. Nothing happens. You have to press and hold it down like that, and then come over, and now you have the PvP damage taken minus 15% for 15 seconds. So when you're in PvP, make sure that you hold the button down. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Twin Dragon. If you just tap that, you will get the buff. See? And there it is, and it lasts for a few seconds. It does not refresh when you do one of the other skills. I've tried, it just doesn't. So now we're on to Blade Storm, and that one, if you just tap it and use it, yes, you will get the slash buff, and we'll just let it count down. And finally, the Shadow Fang Enhancement. And this is a reminder that the Shadow Fang Enhancement is under the skill After Image. So you need to tap on it and then tap on Learn, spend 1 million silver, and now it is there for you when you want to use it. So let's go back and show you how to use it. Here we go. And now that we have After Image right here on the 4th skill on the far left, you'll notice tapping it does not apply the buff. You need to hold that skill down. So we'll just keep holding it until he's done, and come back and look, and there it is. So that's how it works. And what we're going to move on to now is see if we could do the 6 shadow section of our passives. There's a 600% times 6 PVE damage on hit. See if we can do something with that. So we'll switch up the video, have him run. There we go. Now these guys are really strong. I needed someone who could take 6 hits and still be standing. So we got this guy over here. And we're going to use the skill in the bottom left corner on the 2nd row. It's just a skill, nothing special. So look at the numbers above Sura's head. 1658, 1660. You can get an idea. The 500's my healing. You can get an idea of the damage that's being done. 1755 and 1713, 1784. I believe that was it right there. After the 6th hit, there was a damage increase. I want you to keep an eye out for this as well. And it looks like the monsters got me. That sucks. Alright, let's go ahead and go back. And welcome back. So we covered everything with Slash, the section of Slash, and we tried and took a crack at 6 shadows, so I'll just leave that to you to see if after every use of a skill 6 times, you notice a damage increase for PVE and PVP. As far as Unhealing Wound goes, that section, you can't verify it in Arena, and you can't verify it against monsters in the world. So you need a friend. You and that friend are out in the world, and you spar, and you see if your 400 damage every second for 10 seconds happens. So I'll just leave that to you. And now, let's move on to the next section. Here we go. And welcome to the skill combo slide. So before we show you or tell you how this works, let us show you where you can find it. When you're in the game and you hit the menu screen and go over to the far right where it says skills, and you tap on that, and now you're on the skills screen. If you look to the middle and down, you'll see a icon of a magnifying glass with a circle around it, and it will say skill combos to the right. Tap on that, and now you're here. It's a small window. It says list of skill combos. So what I've done is I've taken all of it and made it in a way that you could print it out. Maybe black and white might be a good choice. Go easy on the color, but print it out or have it on another monitor, so if you're playing on an emulator, and you can enjoy these combos. This is what Pearl Abyss has put together in case you're just throwing your hands up in the air and go, I don't know what to do for combos. Try these right here. Now that you know where to find it, let's tell you how it works. On the left hand side where it's in blue is the skill you would start with, and then the image in between is it chains into, and then the gray is skills you have choices to do next. So at the top for Blinding Slash, it will chain into, and you can do the skill After Image or Shadow Break, your choice, but that is a combo that you can do on a creature or another player's character. And Shadow Break goes into After Image, so that to that, and so on and so forth. Looking at this list, I tried to get you a 4-hit combo, but it looks like the best I can see is a 3-hit combo. So here's how it goes. It is... oh gosh, do I remember how it went? Yes I do. Okay, you start with Blade Storm, and then you choose Shadow Break, and then you'll see the second blue one is Shadow Break, and then it goes to After Image. So Blade Storm, Shadow Break, After Image, and there you have it. If you want to toss in Evasion and then start with Blade Storm, that's not really something shown here, but well, that could be a 4-move combo. So this is how you read this slide. So take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next one called Enhancements. Here we go. And welcome to the Enhancement slide. So first things first, if this is new to you, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side is all of his skills. On the far right hand side are all the branch damage connected to those skills. And there's 4 columns in the center. The first one, second, and fourth, I try to make things that do something for your Sura. The third column, I try to make it things that happen to the creature or player's character that you're fighting. So it's the general layout. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's how that works. So let's go over a few things. First of all, let's look at Blade Storm. If you look all the way over to the right in the 4th column where it says heal 80 HP per hit, That means that the heal does not work in Path of Glory. So just be aware of that. Anywhere else, when this is unlocked for Bladestorm, he'll heal. Now the other is, why did I color Twin Dragon and After Image red? That is because there's things I want to cover for those two skills. Let's start with Twin Dragon. First of all, the second column, it says you can change out forward guard instead of super armor. That's why I colored this red. Is not many PvPers would go for replacing super armor with forward guard. And if you don't know what both of those mean, I'll cover it in the player card slide. Don't worry, it's there. But that's a kind of like a do I really want to do that? And that's the reason why it's red. So let's look at After Image, and I colored that one red more than likely because yes, it is the hits. You get 6 total hits, which is a improvement over After Image original amount of hits that it does. So, and the super armor, doesn't apply in arena, but I wanted to call those two to your attention. Now, let's go ahead and get the general thing of enhancements out of the way. You probably are like, what the heck are enhancements? When you go to the skills screen and you tap on one of the skills, you'll see the icon for it immediately to the left. There are other circles around it. Those are enhancements for the skill. So for the one at the top, Blinding Slash, you can enhance it by when you do the skill, you have to unlock these things, but you can get plus 20 defense for 10 seconds when you use the skill, and you can also unlock having 10% more attack range. Now, I keep saying unlocked because all of these enhancements are either free or you pay silver to unlock it, or it has a number next to it, a red number. That is a level that you need to get up to get access to unlock that enhancement. And how you do that is in the world of Elion or Hadum. When you fight creatures, you'll get these books. They're skill books. And it's random, but let's give you an example. Let's go back to Blinding Slash and plus 20 defense for 10 seconds. Hey, that's great. I want to unlock that. But the red number next to it says 2. So chances are when you're out there fighting mobs in Elion and you get these books, you probably need, and this is just an opinion, maybe 2 or 3 books on Blinding Slash, and you'll pay silver, learn it, and get that level up to 2, and now you can unlock it. So that's how it works. Some that are of a higher number, just keep working at it. You will get these skill books, especially when you go into Hadum. They are in treasure chests, and they are a higher quality that allow you to get that level up there quicker. So this is how it works. Take a moment to look at the enhancements, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide called the player card. Here we go. And welcome to the player card. It is like a baseball card. It is all the slides you previously saw, all combined onto one screen. And if you are short on time, you can print this out. Once again, maybe black and white instead of color, because there's a lot of colors going on here. But your option. Usually people who are familiar with my character profile videos and they don't have much time will come over to this section and print this out and look at it, and then come back to the video when they have time to understand all the details. This could be for a new character that came out, or if you simply want to look at somebody else and see what they're like. So let's go ahead and introduce how the interface works. At the top, is the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, and to the right is something new. It's called Immobilization. Anytime Sura stuns or knocks down or bound, anything like that that just takes the creature or player's opponent off their feet, you're immobilizing them. And what that's showing is that how many skills have an immobilization in green, and then how many of them are there. And if you're wondering why does this even matter, it will become clear as I get to the bottom of this player card. So below that is the skills, and below that is the enhancements. And now you can see the enhancement for after image where it showed the flow, same damage, additional attack, 6 hits. Look up at the original skill for after image, 3 hits. So unlocking that enhancement or that flow will change the skill to do 6 hits instead of 3. So that's why I colored it red, and that's why I brought it to your attention. Now, below that is the legend of what's not applied in Path of Glory and what's not applied in Arena in red. And below that is the definition for forward guard and super armor if you didn't know. Forward guard, this means that incoming damage will either be 0 or heavily reduced. Think of your character having like a shield in front of them, and a very heavy shield, and if anyone tries to attack you straight on or maybe off to the right or left, this is what will happen. The damage will either be 0 or heavily reduced, but if they get behind you, the damage will be normal, so be aware of that. Now, super armor. This means that incoming damage will be reduced, and effects that immobilize you, like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc., will not happen for a duration of time. Now, this is where the answer lies. When we're in arena and we're fighting each other, I'm trying to do as many skills on you as possible that have immobilizations, and the most number I can get to happen, there's a higher chance that I might get one in when your super armor comes. Come on, everyone in PvP is always refreshing their super armor and having it active as much as possible, so the chance that I'll get an immobilization in only increases when you use skills that give you a lot of immobilizations. And I know I said that word a lot, so let's give you an example. Let's take Shadow Break. It has 2 immobilizations, so let's look at Shadow Break under the skills and go all the way to the right. The immobilization is that it will stun your opponent or the creature you're fighting, or knock them up. Those are the 2 immobilizations. And let's look at the next one, Mountain Fall, and go down to skills where it says Mountain Fall all the way over to the right. And the 2 they're talking about is the knockback on the second hit and bound on the last hit. So there's the 2 right there. In the world of PvP, you want to get your opponent off their feet, so they spend the animation to get up and gives you an extra attack. Heck, maybe 2 extra attacks, and that can turn the tide of the fight. So that is why that section is on the player card. So take a moment to look at all this, and when you're ready, the music is going to change, and we're going to move into the gameplay video. Here we go. And welcome to the gameplay video. But before we get started, let us show you where we're at. We're over here in Balanos, and we're at Kron Castle entrance, and we're here, well, because we love it here. Their CP is 2519, and ours is 3236. He'll be fine. So the way this works is we'll use this auto path here and have Sura fight for about 2, maybe 3 minutes, at which time we will go back to town. I'll give my outro and say thank you. So, without further ado, I am pleased to present to you Sura. Here we go. just about time for us to head back to town. There we go. And while the loading screen comes up, allow me to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe, like, let people know. I'm always making more videos, and there's so many more to do. So what we're going to do now is swing the camera around, put our Sura in a pose or, like display, and zoom in a bit. Maybe out a little bit. There we go. All right. And we also want to have him give a wave. I think he has a long wave. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video, and you have a great day. Take care. Bye now.